Following on from our previous video looking at cabin noise, we wanted to do an update to show you how we tackle this issue. I think one of the worst job cards to receive on a Monday morning is something like investigate intermittent cabin rattle. Vehicle has been in 2 or 3 times. Where do you start? How do you approach this subject? Often it's countless road tests and there may be no conclusion. So how we approach it, we use the Pico NVH and we use the function generator feature, and we'll describe the whole procedure as we move on. So here's the car with a customer complaint of a rattle in the cabin over uneven road surfaces. And connection wise, we need an NVH license scope, so you will need an NVH kit to acquire the license. Connect that via USB to your laptop, and then the audio out from the laptop we're going to connect to the audio in, or the aux in, on the vehicle. So any sound that is generated from the NVH software is going to pass through the cable into the in-car entertainment system, where we can control the volume and drive the speakers at any frequency. So now the connections are handled, we now move on to opening the software. Remember, you need a licensed automotive PicoScope connected. We click on NVH, that will open the NVH wizard, cancel the wizard, and we go to the options and it's function generator. Now the function generator will only work with a licensed automotive PicoScope connected to NVH. So here we are, here is the function generator, and we can dial in any frequency we want. We can use the scroll bar or we can enter a value. But we want to do something called sweep, and we want to start at 0, and because it's vibration, it's very low frequency, we want to stop at 100 Hertz. And we'll do that over a 30-second sweep. And we've got this audio now playing into the vehicle. We've got, in our media settings, we go to external devices and we click on the aux. That's the aux gain control. That's set to just over half on the vehicle, and the volume on the vehicle, on the laptop, sorry, is set to around 80. So let's have a listen. So we'll switch this off. Sorry, we'll switch the audio on, so we'll remove the marker. And then we'll sweep up. You see the frequencies coming up there. This is very low at the moment, so we can't hear anything. We can start to hear it now. I'm going to hover over the pause button because I want to capture the point where I can hear the rattle. So there, definitely a rattle at 69 Hertz, 68, 67. 66 it's going, at 65, so we can go back up. There it is, 67 Hertz approximately. So there's one, and we'll resume. Oh, there's one, 97, 67, 97. So now pressing on trims to see if we can find a rattle, but you'll find that sometimes rattles that can be heard in the cabin are actually from outside the vehicle. And there we are. And that happens to be the side skirt on the vehicle. I'm just pressing the side skirt and that noise has gone. Let's take that down to, I think it was 67. There we are again. It's a lower frequency but still responding. Yeah, pressing on the side skirt stops the rattle. Alright, I hope that helps. So there you have it. I hope you'll agree that's a fairly non-intrusive test using the function generator of NVH. Low frequencies work best. We're trying to make the cabin vibrate, so if the vehicle is equipped with a subwoofer, then all the better. The real beauty here is that no road testing was required. Can you imagine trying to generate that rattle on the road? You've got to drive the vehicle at a certain speed on a certain road surface. With this function generator we can sweep across the entire spectrum and home in on a particular frequency until we get the component responding to the vibration. Final word is that customer is always king, and it may be worth you doing a frequency sweep with the customer in the cabin so they can point out the rattle of interest. Be careful though, you're going to reveal rattles they weren't aware were present in the car. And as ever, the proof is in the pudding. I want to take you through a case study from Randy Jansen in the US, who's been looking at a Corvette with a rattle. using this technique to diagnose and rectify the concern. Once again, thanks to Randy Jansen in the US for looking at this and sharing this. This is a Corvette with a suspension noise. So customer complaint, irritating noise in the suspension. A technician had watched the Pico NVH video, so the previous one that we created on this noise, how to use the function generator. Using this approach, managed to pinpoint the fault, and more importantly, the vehicle is tested while stationary. A true valid point, that one, is that there's no longer this repeat road testing. So there's the setup. That's straightforward as we've demonstrated. It's use the aux input. Remember, if you've got Bluetooth, then you could perhaps Bluetooth the audio that way. That keeps your laptop on the outside of the vehicle and stops you having to trail wires inside the cabin. Right, here is the fault. What do you see here? Okay, no prizes for guessing that. Okay, flange nut, eccentric washer there. Looking a bit closely here, notice the flange on the nut is not actually bedded down onto the washer. So the nut is tight, but it's actually tight on the frame, right there. The washer then is allowed to vibrate because it is not tight, and using the function generator, we're able to make this washer vibrate, and then once we've got the responding frequency, we can go around and search for where the rattle is coming from. So the fix is to remove the nut, replace it with the correct nut. I think this is great here. Look at that, the witness mark in the chassis. Same again there. Obviously the correct nut has been installed. Look how the thread has changed as well. How many turns we are down on the thread. And the witness mark that's been left in the chassis there as well. Okay. So it had rear leaf springs installed and the incorrect nut had been used. Okay, the nut had tightened on the cross member instead of the eccentric bushing. Witness marks, they clearly demonstrate the fault condition, and the correct nut repaired the vehicle. Thank you once again, Randy Jansen, for taking the time out to help others. Let's just go back one slide. Can you imagine trying to find that with a road test? Challenging for certain. I hope that helps. Take care.